Hello, welcome to yet another VIS IndyCar Series track tutorial. Today we are at another different track. This time it is Road America. For those who know this channel well and know the league well, the first race of the season, which was yesterday, took place and it was quite an exciting one. A lot of people had problems, and so that's, I guess you could say, a reason that I'm going to be doing this. Now, what's going to be different about this track compared to the others is that it's not going to be able to be accessed for long. So I'm making this now for future reference. However, setups may change in the future, and so keep in mind that by the time next season rolls around, this video may be outdated. And I guess you could say the same for the other videos, however, not so much as this. So, a little bit different today. I'm going to be doing only one hot lap because this course is so far the longest I have done. One hot lap, and then I'm going to go through it step by step. So let's get rolling here. Like with most tracks, you want to have the gears in manual because it's not really much difference that or automatic, I should say. You should have them in automatic because manual doesn't make much of a difference. Anyway, coming down the straight, going into turn 1, we brake at the 200 marker, and then halfway through the turn, we accelerate into turn 2. Do pretty much the same thing, except there's no markers. Down another long straight right here. And once again, accelerate halfway through the corner, go up a large hill, brake ever so slightly. Going into that turn at the top of the hill, in full throttle through there. The carousel. You don't want to accelerate too early. I went out a bit wide there, but that's okay. I have to brake a lot on these corners. That's for. And he's going through this turn, up the hill, and I just got my lap validated. That's great. Let's see what time we get anyway. Alright, we get a 149. That's pretty good. Anyways, now the quick step-by-step. Going into the first corner, it's kind of obvious where you have to brake. It is literally right at the 200 marker. And you want to be pretty much full on the brakes for a while. And then, of course, like any turn, you kind of start out wide and you hit the apex or try to get close to it. Once you're halfway through, you can start accelerating again, and it will you'll be fine. You'll just go on to that part. You have to keep in mind that with these setups, you have to brake a lot more than you may think. This corner is a bit trickier to figure out the braking point. Oh dear, engine shut off. Yeah, it's a bit harder. However, to be honest, I can't really. There's literally no references here. But I would say about the second tree after that sort of kink. So like this tree right here. Obviously you won't be able to tell, but this is something you'll have to figure out yourself based on just. It's basically the same turn as the first one, however, there's no set breaking point, so can't really explain that, just have to figure it out yourself. And as you can see here, this one's a lot more obvious going into the uphill. That kink, as soon as you hit that kink in the road, or in the course, that's when you need to be on the brakes pretty hard. Then, like, the first two turns, you start out wide, go into a corner like normal, and then accelerate halfway through that corner. Going up the hill is pretty self-explanatory. It's important that you get a good corner there, because if you don't, you may not get a good run up the hill, and you may actually, it happened a lot during the race, people couldn't get up the hill because they didn't have enough power. So, oh, Mr. Spoon's here. And so, you definitely want to get a good run into the corner. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. Up here, you don't really want to brake other than a little bit, maybe let off a bit, and then just kind of go through that corner. It's a pretty simple corner. You can full throttle it through here. Then you want to brake almost halfway down the hill. You can see the little slope. About halfway down, or maybe not halfway down, like 3/4 of the way down, you should start braking. And once again, a lot of these corners are at 90-degree angles, effectively. Then here's probably the most interesting turn, the carousel. This one, it may look like you can full throttle it, however, with past and present setups, you actually have to almost brake a bit. You have to hold that inside until, you have to hold that inside, because if you start accelerating too soon, then you're gonna go into the sand and it's gonna be absolute death. And so I would recommend accelerating almost, again, halfway down this sort of thing, this curb. Once you get about halfway down that's when you should start accelerating, similar to the other corners. Down here, if you do that corner well, you get a nice run down here. You have to brake a bit going into this corner. Again, like this time, I would suggest braking halfway down this curb right here, or somewhere around that. But then you don't actually have to hold down on the brakes for too long. And like all the other turns, about halfway through, that's when you should start accelerating. Maybe a bit later than that, to make sure that you don't go onto the grass there. But again, it's not a huge deal if you go onto the grass. Coming down here, that kink right there, similar to turn 3, I believe, or the hill climb turn, you want to brake at this kink here, and it has to be a pretty heavy brake. But this one, again, you have to start accelerating halfway through the corner. However, this is a much longer turn than the usual 90-degree turns, so you could say as soon as you get kind of alongside these lines, these first lines, then that's when you can accelerate. Then this part is relatively easy. You go uphill. And then here, again, right as you reach the top of this hill, right here, that's when you want to brake. But again, you don't want to brake too much because this isn't a terrible turn. And once again, you accelerate halfway through the turn. And you go up and down, and up straight. And so that's going to be, I believe, it for this tutorial. As I said before, this track is not going to be, soon enough, they're probably going to change this track into St. Pete for the next race. And St. Petersburg will probably be our next tutorial video. And I will upload something on that after the race then. So thanks for watching, hope this helps, and I'll see you later.